Hi guys, welcome to a new storytelling tip for this week. I am so excited that the end is in sight of this quarantine. Hopefully you can see that too. Yeah, it'll be nice to get back into the swing of things and be able to see people again, right? I'm an introvert and I'm excited to see people again. But anyway, I am actually working on a story with a nonprofit, and this topic came up and I wanted to address it because it seems like it's a topic that comes up a lot when we're talking about stories and nonprofit stories. And it's talking about exploiting someone's story. Now, when I say exploiting a story, what comes to mind? For me, it's like I see nonprofit videos of sad people. They're looking at the camera all sad, like a montage. It has somber music, and it's it just feels very manipulative. Kind of like the dog rescue commercials, But the goal is it's manipulative, right? The purpose of it is to make you feel sad or guilty, and then to donate or do something or rescue a dog. That's kind of the problem with exploiting a story, is that it's manipulative in nature. So I've seen this being done a lot, especially in nonprofit stories, and it's put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. It's especially hurtful for the people whose story it is, who are telling that story, to then look at it and they are made to look like they're pathetic and helpless and hopeless, and that just like kills that self-esteem. A lot of the stories that we can tell in the nonprofit world can be hard and sad and dark. A lot of the people that are helped by the nonprofits have really crazy stuff, and they have a lot of sadness in their stories, but that doesn't mean that we have to depict them in a way that makes us feel pity for them. That's really where you can change the approach that you have, so we're not looking down on them, or the viewers aren't looking down on them saying, oh, poor person, let me be the hero and help them by giving. That is definitely not a ground that you want to be on. It's really not empowering for the person that's telling that story. So I'm not saying it's always easy not to exploit someone's story. It can be a trap that you fall into. But I'm going to share with you the two ways that I go about to make sure I'm not being exploitive in my storytelling, but still being authentic and also not avoiding conflict or the hard parts. So the first thing I do is I want to make sure that character is relatable and we're seeing them at eye level. And I mean that more symbolically than practically. But if you know anything about camera angles and how you're framing and shooting a person, when you're shooting down on someone, it makes that person look like they're vulnerable, they're a victim, they're weak. And that's what they represent when you shoot down on someone. When you shoot up at someone, it makes them look like they have the power, that they are the hero, that they're the bigger person. And when you're shooting eye level, it's more like we're on the same playing field, that the viewers can actually relate to that person. And so that's kind of the approach that I take. I want to make sure that the viewers are seeing our character at eye level. They're on the same playing field. They might have a different experience, different situation. They might live in a different country across the world. But at the relatable level, they're still human. They still have family. They still have the same feelings and same type of struggles. The second thing I do to make sure I'm not exploiting someone's story is to be very intentional about the pre-production and story development. Specifically communication with the whole team. Now, the story that I'm working on now, the team, the nonprofit that I'm working with, they know that person whose story we're telling way better than I do. And so I rely on them, communicate a lot to make sure that this story is real and authentic and it's not exploitive, you know. And before we even start filming anything with a camera, the whole story is laid out. The storyboard has each plot point of how we're going to tell the story, what it's going to look like, what it's going to feel like, everything. And the whole team has seen it, has agreed upon it, and that way, you know, the team feels good. I feel good that the direction we're going is good. It's not going to be full of any surprises after the edit, you know, and that gives us confidence too that it's not exploitive, that the person whose story we're telling is not going to feel like they're being manipulated or used. So those are the two things. Make the character relatable. We're seeing them at eye level, symbolically, and being super, super intentional in that story development before you even start shooting. And so all the best to you guys. You know, I know you guys have the best of intentions when you're telling stories. You don't want to be exploitive. You do actually care about the people that you're filming. So those are my tips for you. So as always, please like and share, comment below if you have questions, or if you're just like, you're awesome, Lisa, I love your content. That would mean a lot to me. And until next week, see ya.